Hi Tino,
Hello,
nice to see you.
welcome.
For those who are not familiar with you, who are you and what's your relationship with Lange Söhne?
My name is Tino Bobe. I'm with Lange since 25 years. Started as a movement designer and later took over the responsibility for a few years for the development. Then from 2004 to 2008 for the manufacturing part. 2008 to 2014 research development, and then since 2014 for the whole manufacturing, what means direct production, parts production, finishing, watchmaking, and some indirect productive areas like technology, logistics, quality, purchasing.
That's very interesting because your background is not as a watchmaker.
No, I'm a tool maker. I really did an apprenticeship as tool maker. It's close, but it's not watchmaking. And then I studied micromechanics and electricity.
Very nice. It's a very lovely evolution, and I think you love it.
Yeah, I got you.
Lange family.
Challenging, but
Lange family. It's
cool.
It's a family. It's a nice family. So
not only our people in the manufacturer, even our people in the markets is family, and even collectors and journalists sometimes. We feel as a family, since many years we know each other and we feel like family.
But we met today to talk about birthday girl, let's say, Lange 1, who will become 30 tomorrow, actually not today, but very, very soon. It's not just excellence in the Lange and Söhne family, it's also a fabulous history, and you can say also the essence of a Lange and Söhne. If there is something that will be immediately recognizable in a Lange and Söhne, will be Lange 1. And but Lange 1, it's not a typical watch. It has a lot of, let's say, strange from the Swiss industry look, because it has special mechanics, but the most distinctive is the dial. How is the Lange 1 built and designed? What's the philosophy behind? And what that philosophy is, I think it's implemented now in many Lange and Söhne watches, like the big date of center display and so on. But what is Lange 1 representing for a Lange and Söhne?
I think the Lange 1, as it is the member of the first 4 watches of the first collection, and became with the years the image of the brand, or the face of the brand. So it's really a huge importance for us. Really, it's very, very important. It shows in this even one watch already our quest for perfection, to have a perfect legible watch with the center or the second a little bit separated from our minute indication, with a clear design code, if you want. Because if you do an asymmetric dial design, it could be strange.
But as far as I remember, also it respects the golden ratio, so it's not just thrown off center.
It's not just thrown. It's not just the case that someone developed a movement and then the poor design guy got the movement and say, okay, there are the indications, so you have to find a nice design. No, it's always more or less a ping pong between these 2 departments to come to this perfection, design-wise and technical-wise. So yes, it's the golden ratio in, but first thing was really integrating the outside date, which was new at this time, and the other indications are minutes, seconds, in a way that is perfect, legible, and otherwise not floating, not chaotic on the dial. If you looked on the dial, you see that even the printed logo of the brand and the indication Doppelfederhaus, what means two barrel movement,
Mm.
has a role into this design. It takes this
It
indication,
balances the face.
it balances the whole design. So it was a huge task, and is already, or always, if there is a new model coming, a huge task to keep this, to be clear in this Lange 1 design code. And at the other hand, you have to find ways for the mechanics to realize, because you can imagine for the units of the date, there's a whole ring covering a certain area on the movement, and you have no chance to come out with indications there. Because, so you have to find ways to realize it. And so it's not the easy way or the easy task.
What was the most difficult to achieve in the... I know the latest Lange movement was launched in 2015.
Exactly.
What was the difference between the new movement and the previous one? What was the... Because you always not reinvent, but you always improve and improve and improve.
Yeah. We really come every year with 1 or 2 new movement developments. So, and we are learning. With every development, you're learning, you get more experienced. And one day we said, oh, yes, we can spend this development capacity on a new complication or this and that, but maybe we should, our Lange 1, let profit from this experience. And so we decided to put this development capacity in a second generation movement. And it was clear the first generation, it was totally new, the outside state. At this time it was the best we could do, even if there was a need for 15 or 20 minutes to change the date, the indication of the date. So, but during the years we learned, and we had an idea how we could do to change it instantaneously, for example. And it's one of the big challenges we had to say, okay, then let's try to have in the Lange 1 the outside state jumping instantaneously.
And for those who are not very familiar with the Lange products, this is something that Lange and Söhne excels, having the right and precise switch of the functions, not only on the big date, on the Lange.
Yeah. Like in chronograph with the exactly jumping minute counter. So it's always a little bit going one step further, or giving a little bit more useful things to watch. And in this case, it's a outside state which makes it easy to read the date. If you have no glass, then but you can see it. That's no need to. And at the other hand, even such a small thing like if the long power reserve the watch has with 72 hours, but if it's over, then second hand stops exactly at 67 seconds. And it allows then to start again precisely if you rearm or wound the watch to start. If you have a time signal, then it's always starting with 0. So we brought it for us to an actual level from our knowledge point, but all the things which were already in the movement from the beginning and are typical for Lange movements, like the 3/4 plate, like gold chatons with the blued screws, or like the hand engraved balance cock. Everything is in like it should be. So it's a very beautiful movement.
But tomorrow, the Lange 1 will not be alone. We'll have also a Little Lange. We'll have the Little Lange 1. So what's the almost 2 millimeters in diameter difference between those two? And in watchmaking, 2 millimeters is a huge number when it comes to make a case smaller for the same movement.
It's challenging.
And I was looking at the dial and I was like, okay, if I don't have to watch side by side the Lange 1 with Little Lange 1, I cannot know which one is it, because the dials are perfectly balanced. It's not squeezed. It looks very good. How did you manage to do that? Because it's...
I have to say, sometimes such a simple dial, we are not like in perpetual calendar, many indications has to be integrated. But this relatively simple dial is design-wise a really challenging task to do, and to bring it to perfection that you have not the feeling it's squeezed, etc. So it's really work in detail, and that's why if you do those, you have really to find a way to perfectly balance everything, and you can't reuse hands from the other model or something like that, just to be more efficient. Or no, really, then we really work on this to be perfect. But in our opinion, it was a nice thing to have both sizes, because we wanted to have the 38.5 because it was the original one, and as it is the same movement for the Little Lange one now, so we said maybe we should do the Little Lange one with it. But it was the Jubilee 30 years Lange one, that's why, and this movement, and not using a Grand Lange one, for example, which is another movement.
Very interesting is that you chose a very unusual dial base for the face of the Lange one and Little Lange one, the black onyx.
We have, in my opinion, two very nice combinations. Even the normal with the solid silver dial and blue dial with the pink gold is a gorgeous watch. But yes, the combination of platinum with this dark black onyx, which is a original stone. Huh? It's not an artificial thing. It's a real stone, but it makes it even difficult to find in this space. If you have sometimes for jewelry, you have small stones even from onyx, but in this case for dials you need a larger surface, and this has perfectly brought to this optic and polished perfectly, and you see everything on it. So it's really challenging, but we said, okay, it would be nice if we can do it. We have certain experience with not natural things like aventurine we did, and we know how difficult it is, and even a little bit more now with natural stone. But let's do this challenge, because it brings really this Jubilee model, which is a limited edition. It brings it to a beautiful level and to a perfect level to be the birthday present for us.
It's but you kept the same height. You didn't change the height of the case.
Yes,
the thickness of
there's a tiny little difference, I think, between the thickness, but it's not really big.
Something that you can
10 millimeters, and 10 millimeters with 38.5, it's perfect. In terms of ergonomics, in my opinion, it's perfect.
Yeah, they have extremely beautiful watches.
I agree.
Yeah, happy birthday, Lange one.
Yes, happy birthday.
Yeah, thank you very much.
It was a pleasure.
Likewise.
Cool.
Okay.